We need to eat the baby.
I have no respect for women who voted for Trump. Okay? I think so poorly of them, and the reason why.
Hey, welcome to Idaho News Edition. It's really cold here in Idaho. Snowed yesterday here where I'm at. The Weather Service warns of record low temps forecasts for most of the week in East Idaho. See, this is when I wish we had global warming. It would be really nice right now. National Weather Service is warning the public to prepare for record low temperatures throughout East Idaho starting Sunday morning and continuing for most of the week. East Idaho is going to be hit by a blast of frigid Canadian air that's expected to smash several records for low temperature for this time of the year, the Weather Service said. The Weather Service is urging everyone in East Idaho to keep their pets indoors this week, be aware of the possibility of frozen pipes, and to please check in on elderly neighbors and family members to make sure they're okay. Temperatures Sunday morning are forecast to plummet into the teens in East Idaho before getting even colder on Monday and Tuesday mornings when the single-digit temps are expected. The Weather Service said it's possible some of the East Idaho's higher elevation areas could even experience below zero temperatures on Monday and Tuesday mornings. Wednesday and Thursday mornings are forecast to have temperatures in the teens region-wide before the mercury starts to warm on Friday morning with temps in the 20s. Normal morning temps, for this time of year in Idaho are in the low 30s with normal daytime highs as the low 50s. Daytime highs Sundays through Wednesdays in East Idaho are forecast to be in the mid-20s to mid-30s. Thursday expected to have daytime highs in the 40s in East Idaho before mercury returns to the normal range for this time of year with daytime highs in the low 50s on Friday. The Weather Service said there could be some light snow in East Idaho this week, but accumulations are expected to be an inch or less. This week's frigid temps are also expected to hit central Idaho mountains with Chalice and Stanley forecast to set new record lows, as well as North Idaho. Ooh, I got some family hunting, doing elk hunting up there in Chalice right now. It's going to be really cold up there. Outside of Idaho, winter weather and wind advisories are in effect in Montana. Winter storm warnings and winter weather advisors are in effect in Wyoming. And hazardous weather alerts calling for extremely cold temps are in effect in Utah and Washington State. So yeah, I'm playing weatherman for you this morning. So there's 5 candidates in Burley that are campaigning for the Burley City Council. 5 candidates will vie for 3 open 4-year term seats on the Burley City Council during the November 5th election, and all of them say economic growth management is one of their top concerns. Incumbents John Craner, 64, and Russ Mallory, 72, are both in their second 4-year terms on the council. Lynn David, 65, Janet Hansen, 57, and Kimberly Seeley, 48, join them in a race for their seats. Council members are paid $4,800 per year. Mallory is a retired crop advisor and currently drives a bus part-time. Craner is a loan officer for Zion's Bank. Seeley is an adjunct professor at the College of Southern Idaho. Hansen is a registered nurse and a small business owner, and Davids is a retired and formerly worked as the assistant superintendent at the city golf course. The city is trying to do things faster than it should, David said about economic growth. They are taking anything offered, and it's costing taxpayers money. David said the city's management of the golf course is a top issue for him, and the city should lease the property. If the city leased the golf course, it might not have asked the taxpayers for levy funds for the library or the street department. He said the city also needs to work on establishing better relationships with other Minnecaja cities so they can work together towards a new airport. Seeley said the city needs to encourage growth while respecting residents through good planning. Attention should be paid to the proximity of industry, Attention should be paid to the proximity of industrial businesses to residential areas, and there should be beautification requirements for the industrial companies. The golf course, infrastructure, the airport, and law enforcement are also top issues, she said. Seeley would like to strengthen communication between the community and the city, tighten the budget, and create a welcoming environment. I would like to bring needed representation of the city to the council, she said. The coming growth, Hansen said, makes planning for services and infrastructure a top concern for the city council. The city also needs to examine the safety provided by law enforcement and the fire department. I do my homework and I think I have something to offer. I'm a good student and communicator, and I will have the best interests of the citizens at heart, and I will try to make the best decisions for the future, said Hansen. Mallory said there are many pressing issues facing the city, but two of the most important ones are the airport and the waste transfer station. The city has wanted to build for several years, and yeah, they need a new waste transfer station. They also need to upgrade their wastewater place. He brings a practical attitude and common sense to the position. I'm considerate and have a similar thought process and political views as many residents, so I think I can speak for many of them, Mallory said. The top issues for the city, said Craner, are managing and success we're having as a city and providing opportunities for the next generation by managing growth and creating jobs. Focusing attention on the downtown, which is challenged by two intersecting highways, finding traffic solutions for North Burley and the city golf course, which is losing money, are also pressing issues, he said. Craner brings his experience and institutional knowledge to the seat. He is running for another term because serving on the council requires a steep learning curve, and it would be detrimental to the city to have too many council members replaced at one time. The turnover on the council needs to be slow, he said. I disagree with that on the slow part. You can still have a huge turnover and just have the former council members stay for a couple of weeks to show them or have their phone numbers for at least questions. The reason I did this is because this is home, close to home. So I will be going to I will see what more information I can about their views. These are photos of them, I guess. David's. This is Seeley. This is Craner. Nope. Forgive me. That's Mallory. This guy, that's Craner. And this is Hansen. Hey, so we got some sad news, I guess. This pilot and dog killed in a small plane crash in eastern Idaho. The crash happened in a field just outside of American Falls. Authorities in eastern Idaho say a man piloting a small plane died after crashing into a field just outside the small town of American Falls. The Power County Sheriff's Office tells KIFI TV that a dog in the single-engine aircraft also died in the crash on Friday afternoon. Authorities haven't released the man's name. The cause of the crash is unknown, but none of the land gears were engaged, so the authorities did not think the pilot was attempting to land. The Power County Sheriff's Office said the plane was registered in New Hampshire. At this time, authorities do not know where it came from or where it was headed. There was no distress call from the plane. A FedEx driver spotted the plane in the field at around noon Friday. The National Transportation Board says it's investigating. So yeah, it's kind of... I don't know if there's a story behind this or not, but... Hey, welcome back. Charge dismissed against Boise police officer accused of rape. Investigation ongoing. Now, if you remember, we did, when this story came out about him, so the rape charge filed against Eric Simonek last week has been dismissed by a special prosecutor after the Ada County prosecutor cited a conflict of interest, but Simonek remains under investigation. The longtime Boise Police Department officer was set for a preliminary hearing Friday morning, but that was canceled Thursday after prosecutors requested that the charge be dismissed. So, I'm hoping that this just means he's innocent. I mean, that's my hope. I'm always hoping that. The Idaho County Prosecutor's Office filed a conflict of interest motion, requesting that Twin Falls prosecutor Grant Loeb be appointed to the case on Monday. On Wednesday, a judge granted Idaho County's request, and Loeb's then requested that the charge be dismissed, without prejudice, subject to refile. That means Loeb's could refile the charges later if he believes there is probable cause. So that's good. I'm kind of guessing that they don't have enough evidence, but there's enough to maybe believe the victim or not. And so I think they just need more time gathering evidence, and once they do, then they can refile it. I think that's what that means. Maybe I'm wrong. Idaho County Judge Michael Oath granted Loeb's request Thursday, and the charge was dismissed. Simonek was charged and arrested last week after a woman he met online accused him of raping her. The Idaho County Sheriff's Office indicated that the charge and arrest stemmed from a report of sexual assault at an Eagle area home. Idaho County Sheriff spokesman Patrick Orr told the Statesman on Friday morning that the office is still actively investigating the case. Boise Police Department spokeswoman Haley Williams confirmed Friday morning that Simonek remains on administrative leave from the department, pending an internal and external investigation. So I'm just hoping that he's innocent. And like I said before, I don't pre-read these articles. This is like my live first reaction, and so like probably with his, when I read it, I was probably pissed, and I'll say things, but it's just my initial reaction, and then later if I'm wrong, I'll correct. So I'm really hoping that he is innocent and that it was just made up, but because there are credible accusations and there are false accusations. And honestly, you just don't know until all the investigation's done. Ain't that some crap? An Idaho Falls man and 2 of his passengers were arrested Wednesday after his car ran out of gas on the interstate while leading police on a high-speed chase, reaching more than 100 miles per hour across Minnecaja. Dakota Ryan Harris, 21, was charged with felony eluding police. Passengers Caden McMurdy and Khaleesi Orr were arrested on other unspecific charges, according to the Hebron police report. A third unidentified person was released. Hebron Police Chief Dan Bristol said Harris, who was driving a 2012 Chrysler, was going 37 miles per hour in a 25-mile zone on O Street when a Hebron police officer attempted to stop him and warn him about his speed at 12:31 p.m. The car came to a 4-way stop on 18th Street and O Street and then accelerated heading north on 500 West at speeds in excess of 90 miles per hour, according to the report. At the intersection of Idaho Highway 25, Harris turned east, and the officer said speeds reached over 100 miles per hour, and Harris passed several vehicles on the right in the 2-lane highway. Harris failed to stop for a red light and turned onto Idaho Highway 24, where he continued driving at speeds over 100 miles per hour. Officers said prior to crossing a bridge, a handgun was thrown out of the car. The car went into a field and drove around in the field and back towards the officer at one point. After leaving the field, Harris drove to the Interstate 84 and was headed south when it ran out of gas at milepost 271. Bristol said Harris had 3 felony warrants out of Bonneville County. Hebron police were assisted by other local law enforcement agencies and Idaho State Police. Man, ain't that some crap? Alright, so like, subscribe, share, donate, and converse in the comments. Comments are my favorite. And also share the video. I really want to try and make more views. So, I'll see you guys later.